So I think a lot of us are familiar with this popular Eagle 4-lever padlock, and I received this wonderful looking padlock from a California seller, and I am telling you this is a beautiful looking lock, and I received it in the closed position, and this is a brass bodied lock. And originally it would have had all of the body covered with a light gold electroplating, and there are little spots here and there where you can still see it, but for the most part, yeah, a lot of us would say, wow, what a beautiful lock. And a lot of times these locks on the brass version, they go for $30 plus, and sometimes if you're lucky you can get them with keys to that price, but rarely does it happen. And I'll warn you guys, never buy these things if they look rusted and patinaed like this. And I'll tell you why. Because certain locks just really were never designed for outdoor use. And some locks, for whatever reason, religiously get broken springs. Well, when I got this locked in the closed position, I immediately did a spring test, and I just kind of rebounded the shackle, and I got a very small deflection. So I knew this lock had a good shackle spring, which is located somewhere here. But to my dismay, yeah, something went wrong. I was trying to determine where the release lever was on this lock. And those of you who are familiar with the Fram contractor padlocks know that it's kind of a unique design because it has a special lever which essentially locks up the tumblers. And this lock really is a 5-lever lock, and this is a lock that I discuss in one of my books, The Extreme Antique Padlock Collector. And I was trying to obtain one that I can make a key for, and I can still do it because, well, I did decode this lock using L wires, and I actually picked this lock using L wires. And I will tell you that there is a problem, as I just said. Well, the rear tumbler, which I would really call the 5th tumbler, has a broken spring, and this is what came out of it right here. And this is a kind of metal that I don't work with, and if I wanted to disassemble this lock, I could drill out 4 of these, I would call them rivet posts, and I can manufacture new ones. But I don't know, I just think that this is too cool looking, and it really would destroy the antiquity. I'll tell you that this lock will still work if I decide to make a key. Now, this is an interlocking design. You can see here there's 4 interlocking levers, and what you can't see to the left is a very thin 5th lever that locks up the lever tumblers, so you can't shim the lock going through the shackle. And anybody who ever buys these locks, I'd also recommend you have the seller inspect this area in between the lock body here. I've seen a lot of people trying to shim these open because they think they're broken. And this lock has some really weird gapping patterns on it, but that's normal. This has not been shimmied in any way. So yeah, I was able to get this lock open, and here's the bit code for this lock. I can zoom in on that. 7P19. Yeah, so I can make a key for this and it would still work. But it's kind of a disappointment. I did contact the seller. I think he'll end up telling me to pound sand. And I don't know. It's still kind of cool, don't you think? So let me get your guys' opinion. Should I take the lock and take it apart, or should I just leave it the way it is? I mean, the lock will still work. You know, the bit pattern on it is just a full no cut, and it just means that gravity would float the locking lever back in place occasionally when that happens. And as long as I have a full range cut on there, it'll push the release lever far back enough for the lever tumblers to to actuate. So yeah, let me get your opinion. Should I take this lock apart and repair it? And you know what I'd have to do is use some stainless steel. That's all I have, some spring steel, and try to do repair. And who's to say that won't get weak and break over time? So I don't know. Leave it the way it is, broken, and still be functional, or take it apart and try to fix it. What do you think, guys? Thanks for watching.